welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I am Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello. You're not sounding too well there, Ben.
A little bit croaky. Yeah, I have had a bit of a cold, been a bit sick, which is wonderful because we're doing an extra long recording session just to give you a little behind-the-scenes look. I'm going away to Canada in a few weeks for about 6 weeks, and we're going to just record some extra content starting tonight. So we're going to do a big, long session, which you won't hear for a month or so. But,
a number of weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, it chose a good night to do it when I've been sick all week, and I'm a little bit croaky, but oh well. I'll just drink some booze.
I've been sick too.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot better now.
Every podcast has that episode where like one or both of the hosts are just like hopped up on painkillers and still drinking and stuff. So this is ours. We'll just have to make it extra silly.
Yep, maybe I can get you to, laugh so much that you end up coughing your lungs up.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Extra long session. I'm going to have more drinks. So there's going to be some silly stuff coming out in a month or so, a couple of months as a result of tonight. So let's get into it. We're going to play Click Pitch. This is a game where we each have a random word generator in front of us, and on the count of 3, 2, 1, click, we're going to click refresh, get a new word, and come up with a game idea based on that. So I think we should get into it.
Yes, I think so too. 3, 2, 1, click.
Click. Impact.
Astronaut.
Okay. Kind of writes itself. All right. So what's some interesting stuff we can do about astronauts impacting things? I mean, obviously you think of sort of, a spaceship hitting a planet, or an asteroid hitting a spaceship, or an astronaut hitting an asteroid. I don't know. Something impacting
All I'm
something.
thinking is Armageddon the game.
Okay. So this could be a good roguelike sort of thing. The setting is the same every single time. There's an asteroid coming towards the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the gameplay loop then? Is it about flying your ship up and avoiding the debris and landing on it, or is it about actually once you've landed on it, like digging in and doing what you need to do, or both?
I think it's about definitely once you've landed on it. I mean, because really, that movie was a whole heap of fluff until they got to the planet, and then you've got to look after all your different characters, and some of the team is on the other, quite a ways away as per the movie, and they're in a little bit more trouble, but you've still got a job to do, so you've got to keep an eye on the drilling operation while you've got your other team who's trying to get back as well.
The drilly op, is that what we're calling it? Drilly op, the game. So do you get to choose between, what was it, Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler? Did she go up there, Liv Tyler? No, it was only the men. Only the men. Only the men could go up to destroy an asteroid. Don't you know?
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. So what's the gameplay then? So you've got multiple characters up there?
I think so.
You know what would be interesting? Has there been a multiplayer roguelike where as a team you have to go through multiple times, permadeath sort of thing? I mean, I guess there are multiplayer games out there where you get to keep your gear between rounds or different things, but I don't know. I'm thinking that you have it's even that you play it over the course of one session, and maybe it's like super quick. Maybe it's like a 5 or 10 minute round. You give it you attempt it, you fail, but you keep your experience, you level up your tools, you level up your characters, and then you try again. I just kind of like the idea of a roguelike on this, I guess. Just because it's kind of an interesting setting for something like that, and thinking about what you could improve between rounds, right? What you can level up, what you can unlock, unlock new drill bits, unlock new spaceships. Maybe you do, it's a quick kind of round of flying to the asteroid. So you're dodging all the debris. If you've upgraded your boosters, you can get there faster, but you might not be as maneuverable. You can put fucking weapons on it and stuff.
Depending on how bad you do, depends on whether too many people get lost just in the
Yeah, you could have people die on the way if you fuck it up too badly. You could have it that, well, like part of the skill is landing close enough to your impact site, or sorry, not your impact site, your drill site or sites. Or maybe it's that you have to like drop off each person, so you have to like drop them at the right time. Well, again, I guess if this is multiplayer, it's kind of, there's a bit of that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds thing of jumping out of the plane at the right time, and if you've got some sort of like dive suit that you just dive down to the gravity of this asteroid. Each person has to hit their drill site at the right point, get to where they need to drill. They've got their equipment, maybe even have to fire the equipment out beforehand.
Oh, and they've got to go on a bit of a journey to get it and get back.
Yeah, that's it. Like if you're not very good at firing your equipment out, then it's going to take longer and it's more dangerous to go and find your equipment, get it back to where you actually have to drill. Don't drop the nuke. And having to communicate and stuff, and yeah, like, I don't know, that could be kind of cool. It could just be one of those things where it's a real challenge. Like, to actually even get through it successfully is something that's hard to pull off and takes a lot of practice, or at least takes a lot of run throughs before you've leveled up your, or like bought enough different things or leveled up your gear or got enough skills or whatever.
I'm just trying to think whether we should actually have sort of like, kind of like the Friday the 13th game where you've got one person sort of trying to sabotage the crew.
Yes, there's a serial killer up there on the asteroid. Freddy, just Freddy. I mean, what is it? Jason. Could be Freddy. Freddy and Jason. Wasn't there a Freddy versus Jason in space or something? Yep. Whatever, they're both up there. It's just another one of those things where we don't tell anybody until
it just looks like
game.
It just looks like another crew member.
Well, or it could be one of those, because it is a roguelike sort of thing, it could be one of those things where one round you throw in an Easter egg like that. So it's like 1 out of 1,000,000 rounds fucking Jason shows up.
So here's a way to actually incentivize the person to actually do this.
To do the sabotage.
Yeah. If you can, one person in every occasional round gets given a contract to take one person out.
Okay.
And if they manage to, kill this person and get off the asteroid and get back to Earth, then they get, and Earth obviously survives.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, do they have to actually also...
Then they get some in-game currency in which they can spend on stuff. And it's one person actually gets given this at random.
Right. Okay, that could definitely provide some interesting tension. I was kind of thinking that you'd do it as a team.
You never know if it's going to be this game that someone has got
yeah,
that.
I was kind of thinking that you'd do it as a team, and I guess maybe you could still do this. I mean, because generally people want to play with their friends, but yeah, it could just be that you're playing with a bunch of people online. I mean, not that your friends can't backstab you as well, but yeah, that's kind of
you've just been told you need to get your own stuff done, but make sure this person doesn't make it back to work.
Yeah.
Now, whether that is you let them get all their stuff done, and then you cut off their air supply, and then they, as they're trying to get back,
you just kick them off the asteroid. that thing doesn't have much gravity, man. Like just go floating off, burn up in the atmosphere.
I just think that would add a little bit of extra tension and make it kind of cool. And then maybe that in-game currency, you can get quite a bit more by getting this done. Other than the X amount of dollars that you're going to get for completing the mission.
Well, because that's what's
like a bonus.
That's what's interesting, right? Is if you are playing as a team, round after round, then obviously one person getting more cash or more reward is actually going to help the whole team. So you'd have to be careful. Like it almost needs to be something that's only going to help that person. Maybe it's currency that can only be spent on like hats and shit, like accessories that don't actually help your stats or help the team. It just literally just makes you look different or cooler. That there's sort of an incentive there for the person doing the sabotage to, like, because you don't want, if it's helping the whole team, then you could just say, hey, like, you're my target, let me kill you after you've done all your shit. Whereas if it's just for their own,
the money comes from that person.
It takes
so It gets stolen out of their bank account.
maybe. Yeah. I mean, I guess you get more points or more reward for the more people who survive as well. Anyway, so but yeah, no, I like the idea of it. It goes just into that person's wallet, and they can only spend it on visual and maybe auditory, but not non-game affecting items.
Or they can
Voice
be game
packs.
affecting items, but they can be things such as like better weapons to take up there to kill people with.
Well, but that's what I mean. I don't. Oh, right. I see. It only helps if you've got a sabotage mission.
But maybe there's a group of people out there who have realised that if you take out the rest of your team, you actually get their cut of the money.
Oh, Jesus. So basically then it becomes... But of course you can't complete the mission without your team. So you can't just kill them all right away. So and if Earth doesn't survive, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
Well, although
so
that doesn't really...
it's that sort of
anyway.
thing. Do you trust the people to actually let you back onto the ship at the end and all this sort of stuff?
Just picturing everyone's done their job, and then it's just this mad race back to the ship, and the first person in there just locks the door behind them.
That could be kind
It
of
just
cool.
becomes a free for all at the end. Yeah, I think this is moving a little bit away from the roguelike mechanics because it's a bit more like Payday, I guess. I'm thinking, and in fact, actually, it could be cool to expand it a bit like Payday. That instead of just the one scenario every time, it's a bunch of different. Like there can be a bunch of different scenarios. Maybe one of them, and they could even be based on different movies. So like there's one that's like Aliens, where you're all on a spaceship and there's an alien in there and you have to work together.
Oh God!
Like just all these different sort of scenarios in space where you have to complete it as a team. But there are these things that get thrown in, like the fact that someone has the incentive to sabotage the mission or kill someone.
Of course, the one that I want to play more than anything else is the Firefly one.
Right. What's the scenario? It's just you just get to hang out on a cool ship with Nathan Fillion.
It's a train heist.
Right.
I don't know. One of the heists that they did.
You're shipping cows across planets.
Yeah, something like that. I reckon they could be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of cool stuff you could do there. Particularly, yeah, I do actually like that Payday 2 model. And we should go on too much more with this, I think. But I do now that I've thought of this, doing it after the sort of Payday 2 model, where yeah, it's all about how efficiently as a team you can do particular scenarios, and they're all pretty difficult. But it's still fun, even if you fail, sort of thing, because you're sort of just trying to work as a team, trying to get it all happening. Throws in different random elements, and yeah, you can throw in a lot of Easter eggs from movies and stuff.
But they're not. It's not actually a licensed product, as you sort of said before.
It's got to be satirical.
It's likenesses, but it's like it doesn't quite say Armageddon.
It says. I don't know, what's another word for Armageddon?
just at the very start, one person says, "Armageddon out of here," and it's like, oh, now we know what this is.
Armageddon TM out of here. Cool. I
Shall
like
we
that.
click again?
I think we should. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, click. Temperance.
Catalog.
Okay, so
Temperance.
I'm gonna take this that temperance is a name.
Yeah, I kind of started going that way too because
So it's a game based on Bones, like the TV show.
Okay, all right.
Temperance Brennan.
Let's do it. Yep.
This is our unintentional tie-in episode. So you
work
you
in the
can take-
Smithsonian and
the Jeffersonian.
the Jeffersonian.
Get it right.
Oh, sorry, I haven't watched Bones in a long time. And you just work as an intern and you're just cataloguing all the bones she brings in. You don't actually get to go out in the field.
Well, I was thinking you've got the choice between the squibs. So you don't get to play Bones and you don't get to play Booth, but you do get to choose
Boffin.
between
You
whether
get to play Boffin. Bones, Booth, and Boffin.
You get to play one of the Squinterns, or you can play like the other FBI agent.
Someone's a fucking Boner.
fan, yeah.
Is that what they call Bones fans? Boners. I haven't watched the show in years. So the squibs are like the people working, like the scientists, right? That's what.
Well,
because that's what.
Squinterns, they're now.
Is that show still going?
Just finished.
Jesus Christ! I can't believe they got that long out of that show. Okay.
Yeah, they've got to like what?
Let's see,
season
10 or something.
11, 12,
Yeah, Jesus.
like that.
It's a long time.
Pretty cool.
There must have been a Bones game. Was it one of
I
those
don't think
shitty
there has
ones
been.
like they did like the CSI games and I don't know, they just throw together some terrible likenesses of the characters and basically they end up being hidden picture games?
Oh.
Anyway, we can make a better one.
It doesn't look like there has actually been a game based on Bones.
There's a game called Mr. Bones.
Oh, there you go. Bones fans can be king of the lab in new online game.
Oh, there you go.
So, the game is called King of the Lab, and you've just got different murder cases. But you know how, like, when you were playing those CSI games,
Oh, I didn't play
they
them.
were kind of horrible.
Yeah. From what I saw, they were pretty terrible.
Like, one of the things that I always liked about, the crime scene investigation is that there wasn't just, like, one particular answer or one way that you could go down a path,
Yeah.
But in this, it was like you can only like, do some fingerprinting over here, and then you'd only find that one fingerprint. It's like, no, you should find 1,000 fingerprints, and you've got to choose the right fingerprint.
I mean,
to actually.
it's a hard problem to do a proper sort of investigative crime scene game where you're actually having to sift through a million different pieces of evidence because, that's boring as all hell. But there's probably a balance between, what basically comes down to find the one interactive object in the scene and that's your clue.
Yeah. Have some red herrings in there. I mean, for fuck's sake, you should be able to, pick up anything that isn't nailed down and, you can lead yourself down on the wrong path.
I think that's where the issue comes in, right? Like if you're able to pick up every little bottle and cigarette butt and fucking newspaper and like throw them around the room, what if you throw them on top of that tiny spatter of blood that on a show they would obviously be written to see, but in a game, particularly if they're not like highlighting things, it's just
I see that you can have like easy, medium, and hard versions. So easy is like the typical CSI game; it's interactive, locations only.
Okay.
Medium, you can't stuff up the crime scene. Hard, you can literally walk through the crime scene, walk into the thing of blood, and all of a sudden
contaminate it completely.
Your footprints are seen, and you're now a bloody suspect.
I love that idea that you can fuck it up so badly that you actually get convicted of the murder. Like, not just a suspect, like it goes to court and it's irrefutable evidence because of how badly you fucked that up and contaminated the crime scenes.
What was that? You didn't put gloves on? Well, fuck you.
You were obviously there. Your DNA is all over this. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. Is there something special about Bones? Like, what is it about Bones as a show that makes any of the characters... Like, she's just kind of smart and slightly Asperger's-ish, isn't she?
Yeah. Okay. So what you can have is, like one of the main things that happens each week is you find a really, really, really disgusting body.
Right. It's always
like, that has got
Usually
like,
there's something
goop in everything, and all you see is bones. So when you finally, maybe the first level is just, oh look, there's a relatively complete skeleton, no goop, no nothing, and you've just got to put the skeleton together. But then later on you find the body that's gone through the wood chipper, and you've got to like piece together the whole skeleton based off that, because that's something that the Squinterns have to do in the show.
So it's just it's a very relaxing puzzle game with slightly morbid themes.
Exactly. And I think that would be quite, a relaxing time. Like, the hip bone's connected to the leg bone, and the leg bone's connected to the knee bone.
The knee bone's connected to these 500 shin fragments.
Oh,
damn, that
shit,
fucking wood chipper. All right.
The head bone's got a big bullet wound. I think I just found cause of death.
Do you get to do the facial the construction and stuff where you put all the little knobblies on there and build up the skin and the layers and stuff, and then it turns it into because
whatever freak creation you actually.
I was going to say because what's her name in the show has her magic computer that once she's done all that, it shows basically a photo like a 3D rendering of the guy or woman, but. Yeah, I like. It's almost a Monster Factory thing. Then it's how badly can you fuck this up by just this is how you recreate a skull, right? Like there was obviously 40 layers of muscle over the cheekbones, and they didn't have any skin on their nose. I don't know. Oops, I forgot all the cartilage. Just all floppy. They just look at this floppy nose skin, and
it's just the one episode where they're missing like half the skull. You know, you have to make a decision. Okay, do I flip the face, or if I forget to do that, do I get this really really deformed face? And you just happen to see that, and you. It warns you, have a sick bucket next to you. You're gonna get.
Yeah. You've only got half a skull, so it tries to create the complete skull, but there's just actually only half a skull in there. So there's half the head is collapsed in and just brain dripping out the neck hole. I don't know. How realistic can we make this recreation? All right, I think we should click again.
Yeah, I think so. 3, 2, 1. Click.
Attach.
Twitch.
Okay. Attach Twitch. So...
I keep on going back to a Twitch Plays game.
Well, I was going to say you're a Twitch streamer and you've got a creepy fan who's really attached to you. And,
okay, yep, I'll take that.
Maybe it could be like this doesn't quite track, but like a Five Nights at Freddy thing in that like the whole game is set in.
You're playing another game.
Yeah, maybe. Like it's all set in your Twitch console. So there's sort of a game inside the game, and it could just be sort of a generic first person shooter sort of thing.
Even better.
Yeah.
This is literally like it's an alternate reality game. So it's an ARG.
Okay.
It just in the game you're a Twitch streamer.
Right.
But it's just like almost a wrapper for any other game that you want to play.
Okay.
So you load it up, and then within the game, you load up the game that you really want to play.
Right.
And what it does is it has like, you can see all the Twitch comments coming up and that sort of stuff. So it's
like procedurally generated chats and stuff.
Yeah. And then, part of the ARG is, some people, if they like what you're doing, it's got a really, really awesome algorithm. It can tell if you're doing really well. You start getting, oh, look, someone sponsored you this much money. And then what we don't tell people is part of the game is that you're going to get like death threats and all this sort of stuff. Or maybe we do say that. Gives you the full Twitch experience without having Twitch. So if you live in Australia and have shitty internet,
you can't play. Oh, no, I see. It's to give you the experience of being right. I get it. So how do you interact with these other, like your fans or your watchers?
You can write into the chat. You can write into the chat thing, and I don't know whether you've played Event Zero, but there's actually like a text parser in which you can type stuff, and the computer responds to you. Well, we just write a awesome version of that, in which the fans actually respond and go, "Wow, you're so knowledgeable," and all this sort of stuff. Or if you say racist stuff, then you start losing watchers and all that sort of stuff.
Or you start gaining a very specific type of watcher you maybe don't want. Or if you're most Twitch streamers out there, actually you gain a ton of watchers because from what I hear, half of them are racist shits. Yeah, okay. Maybe
it plays as though, every 15 minutes it's a new day or something like that.
Right.
And over playing this game, it just says, just start playing a game, and the Twitch attach game starts after X amount of time.
Right. People start like joining your channel, you start seeing chat messages come through,
You start getting like audio hits, and you can manage your channel and turn on certain things, and people use those audio cues.
Be cool if it like hooked into Steam achievements, so that like when you actually play the game well, where there's certain games that it hooks into their high scores and stuff. So if you've got Twitch attach, this game has Twitch attach integration, then playing that game well means you'll actually get better in your Twitch game.
Yep.
Like more money, more subscribers.
Say you've just put all the shin bones together in the Bones game.
Right.
And everyone's going, wow, that was so awesome. That was the quickest time I've ever seen someone put together those shins in case 2, the case of the shin splinters.
So that's the integration as well. It can feed the stats into the chat so that they can give you contextually accurate chat messages.
Yep.
Yep.
And only certain games, only ones that like we've come up with.
Well, that's what I mean. They have to. Well, if it becomes popular enough, games will put out patches that are like enables the Twitch attach integration, so that it's like enabling Steam achievements or whatever. It's like we've got an API you can hook into your game and just send the events out to our Twitch game so that it can be integrated properly.
So it gets really weird when you can select in the game when you want to stop streaming, and 1 or 2 people hang around a little bit longer, and then after a while there's just one person just hanging around. Yeah. Continually, always in your account,
right?
Or woman, we're not saying who it's going to be.
Statistically, it's probably a guy, but anyway.
Yeah. So I'm just imagining in the game, all of a sudden you start getting emails through, and you can maybe even stop. It may get a bit weird in the game, so you actually stop using the Twitch attach wrapper,
right?
But
except it can't
it's almost
actually
like
be turned off.
Yeah, because what we've done, we've actually installed a rootkit on your PC, so it's always running, and you start physically getting emails in your
oh god,
you
hack into your Gmail. It's got a keylogger in there, so we get all your stats. We know your address.
And it just gets really weird when we clear out your whole bank account.
You start getting emails saying, I just wanted to buy you nice things, but I didn't have the money, so I used your money to do it. I'm coming over. I bought myself a plane ticket.
And that's how we make $1 million. So, I think that's actually pretty cool.
That's it. It's just actually a scam that we're running. Past that point, there's no game. That's because that was the end game for us. And they're forever waiting for, like, they're wondering, wait, was this actually real? Is this person going to show up at their door? Maybe we even hack their phone. Like if they plug their iPhone into their computer, yep, that's rooted now as well. So we can send fake calls and just do heavy breathing over it.
Yeah, but we've got an auto dialer that does that.
Oh yeah, it's just a recording. Twitch stalker the game. Problematic at best. I think we should click again.
I think so. 3, 2, 1, click. Geneticist.
Freeze. Mad scientist who is freezing people so that he can take their genetic material? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you've seen the Saw movies, haven't you?
A few of them.
Yep. So you can go out and kidnap people and take them back to your lab, and instead of setting them up in these massive traps, you just freeze them and they're never seen from again.
Okay, where's the game? What do you do with that genetic material?
Well, you're looking for a specific genome sequence. So the idea is that if you get this person, you freeze them, you take their genetic material, and then you find out that they're not the right one. Well, you got to dump the body somewhere because you've already killed them.
All right, no, hang on. I've got a better idea.
Okay,
it's getting a bit too serial killer-ish, a bit too creepy. All right, you're a geneticist. You're an astronaut geneticist, and you've traveled.
Astronaut.
Well, I'm just saying. Anyway, you're on it's set somewhere in the future. You're on a planet where it's like a completely frozen planet. But
okay, yep.
As you've explored it, as humankind has come to this planet, it seems like nothing's there. But as they've kind of dug things out, they're digging their colonies and things into the ice and embedding them in there. They've started to come across specimens of frozen creatures.
A frozen civilization, almost.
Well, I'm thinking, maybe you get to that point, but I'm just thinking like animal life. And so you're kind of having to, it's almost a bit of a mystery game where you're piecing together the genetic history of this planet, like what the ecosystem was like, and perhaps you start finding out where this big freeze came from, like there was a huge geological event or something. But then also...
it's actually nuclear winter.
Well, yeah, maybe that's the big thing. Like it ends up being that these creatures you start finding, maybe it's a bit more of an archaeological game as well. The genetics is just one part of it. It's piecing together the history of this civilization through science, basically through archaeology. That could be like, I don't know. There could be some kind of cool stuff there where it's almost just one of these games. I don't know, did you ever play Waking Mars?
No.
Okay, that was a game where it's basically just sort of a platformer, but you'd go around and in each of the areas you'd find these different plants and things. You're sort of in these caverns and stuff. But as you go, you start to figure out how these different plants interact with each other. I think they were creatures as well. I think maybe it was just plants. It's like some would shoot out spores or some would shoot out seeds and stuff. But this one would, like, if this particular type of seed got too close to it, this sort of thing would happen. So yeah, just sort of this idea where you're kind of mapping out this ecosystem and figuring out how it all fits together. I feel like that's just a kind of fun, interesting thing to do. And then as part of that, you start figuring out the history of this planet and its inhabitants.
So to make it more fun for me,
go on.
You arrive on this planet and you have the choice of using a certain team.
Okay.
And they've all got flamethrowers. So it's this frozen wasteland, and with these flamethrower guys, they can kind of Red Faction style deform like the ice, and so that's how you actually find.
And the scientist is just back there going, no, the specimens, and then has to figure out the ecosystem of this planet based on the ashes of these frozen beings.
Well, I was getting to that. Maybe
you need some finesse with the fire, with the flamethrower.
As you're going, as soon as you see something that there seems to be a specimen now, only one little part of it will be singed.
Just gets slightly charred.
And just lightly roasted.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's still frozen, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then I think that could be a bit of fun, because then you've got, a base building sort of mechanic, except the base building is done through flamethrowers. And if you don't build it right, because the physics are so awesome,
it could collapse in on
itself. If you don't build the base right, it collapses and kills everyone inside. So that's another thing that you've got to be really good at. Engineering and science and like puzzle.
Well, because I admit that just we've had a couple of games now where you're literally just like doing the boring bits of science, piecing together bones, just like genetically.
Fun for fun.
But
remember the song that you could sing?
Yes, I remember. It's seared into my brain now. No, but the base building aspect is cool. Like that could actually be the main part of the game. Is that you are colonizing this frozen planet, and you're having to build up your base and build all your different systems and stuff, different rooms, and the mess hall and your bunks and your whatever. And then all your ice management tools, some of which are, like, give this guy a flamethrower and he can go clear out the space so you can put another room in.
But you gotta leave certain, the engineer then tells you need to leave load-bearing ice columns here. Otherwise the entire mountain will come down on top of you.
Yeah. And then part of the challenge is also, if you come across a specimen, you can't just keep flaming your way through because you'll destroy it. So you have to...
So I was actually thinking that on the way to this planet, like they went through a wormhole.
Okay. Yep.
It turns out that what's
end up
actually
in the Delta
happened
Quadrant?
is they've come back to Earth itself, but just in millions of years. And you find out that this is like in the very final bits, which of course no one listening, is going to spoil this for anyone who's going to play this in the future. No. But it turns out that scientists were using harnessing the core of the Earth's energy much that they froze the core. They
used it all up,
and that caused the entire Earth to freeze, and then no matter what the sun actually did, it couldn't.
It's like that movie, The Core.
Haven't actually seen that.
yeah. I heard it was terrible. No, I like that idea. You're building out your base. You've been playing for a while. You've managed to figure out this whole ecosystem, which seems strangely like Earth. It's weird. Maybe it's far enough in the future that things should have changed genetically. But you're blasting out a room right at the edge of your map, and you come across the Statue of Liberty. You bastards! You maniacs!
You blew it up!
You froze it up!
And then I'm just imagining they find like a USB flash drive, and they start going, "What the fuck?"
Well, it's just got the whole history of the planet Earth on it, up to the point of freezing. It's like the final shot is like a selfie cam of someone slowly freezing to death, waiting for the progress upload bar to upload it all onto this USB stick. 99%, 100. And it's freezing into place.
Why did they write
No, it's a video. It was obviously streaming onto the USB stick at the same time as it was copying, which was really stupid because it would have copied faster if they hadn't done that.
Why is it getting to 100? Because you're still recording.
You forgot to hit stop when you died, when you froze to death. You idiots. You've destroyed all of humankind's history.
It's still writing. Of course it is, because you're still writing to the fucking thing. Everything else is finished.
Wait, so they find, so it's not that they find a USB stick. They find a computer with a USB stick plugged into it and a 600,000-year video file streaming to it. Luckily, they solved all those pesky storage issues way back in 2374. So
unfortunately, it was all corrupted because it was only NTFS 2.
So it's corrupted because it was on a floppy disk. They solved the storage issues, but it of actual size of storage, but they actually had to go back to 3.5-inch magnetic floppies. Storage. They just figured out a way to make them have unlimited storage through quantum mechanics. But they still had all the same issues with being corrupted by breathing on them.
Just don't put it anywhere near dust or cold.
Or your computer. What do you mean you put the floppy disk in the drive? Don't you know that could corrupt it?
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1, quick. Marathon.
Failing. Okay.
Failing a marathon.
Yeah, what's fun about that, though? Maybe you have to... You're in a marathon, but the only way you're allowed to win is by making sure everybody else fails. So it's not just getting because you know that there's no way you could actually win.
Stabbing everyone.
Yeah, you could do it in a variety of ways. But if you do that, the cops are going to come and you're never going to get across the finish line. So it's kind of a cross between a racing game and Hitman, because you have to just take out all the other marathon runners in non-suspicious ways. Set traps.
Spike water.
Yeah, spike water, exactly. Yeah, you run ahead, then run ahead, hide your little number that's on your front, and hand out the spiked water to people running past. They just all start falling dead.
A big black moustache.
Twirling it as you hand this water over.
They don't really realise that you're a woman.
Well... You can, yeah. There's a lot of. This game's ripe for character creation. So it doesn't have to be a key protagonist in this. It's just you create your character. This is the character who's going to win this marathon, but the fitness slider doesn't go above 0.2. So the only way you can win is by taking out all the other competitors. I'm picturing could even be a mod for GTA 5. I don't know. I'm just picturing like the physics engine for animation and stuff. Because I just love that idea of, you like spike their water and then just watching them stumble and fall over in that very GTA specific, what is it, the endorphin engine or something? Is that what it is? I don't know. Euphoria engine. Close. Stumbling and falling and dying. Everything's just very physically realistic as you knock out all these other competitors. And then you still have to walk to the finish line, and because you're not very fit, it's going to take you a really long time.
I'm just thinking that, with things like the Boston Marathon bombing and all that sort of stuff, this may not be too good an idea.
Yeah, true. But where haven't people been killed, really? Jesus. Yeah, okay, maybe taking out innocent civilians as part of your game.
Okay, so you lose the game if you kill anyone.
Okay, so it's purely non-lethal methods of making sure other people can't finish the race.
So, you can bribe someone to send out like marbles and stuff out onto the, throw a handful of marbles down
right.
and people go whoa, 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 and falling down and hurting themselves, but
non-lethally hurting themselves. So are tasers okay?
Yeah, tasers are fine.
Set up a little...
Except if you happen to get the one guy with a heart condition.
Right, and so you have to study everybody as well and look at their dossiers to make sure that the non-lethal method that you want to take them out of this race is not going to kill them.
Okay, so have you ever read... It's a Richard Bachman book.
Yep.
Called The Longest Run.
Yes, but I don't really remember the content.
So the idea was that every year the longest run was held, and the youngest boys of certain families would be chosen. I don't know, I think it was out of a draw or something like that. And if you stopped running, you were eliminated, literally. And only the last person to finish the marathon would actually win. So, is it a good idea to maybe now do this as an extra tie-in to that book?
All right, so we're just doing purely licensed games.
You've got a very limited number of people that you're going up against.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And therefore, you're not dealing with a couple of 100,000 people in New York City doing the marathon. Instead, you've got like 7 other kids doing the marathon, and you're the biggest and fattest one out of all of them.
Right.
And so, therefore,
So, what's the win condition? Is it
you have to be the last person running?
Okay, and then if you're the last person running, do you get to stop running?
Yes, you win.
Right. You've passed the test.
Yes.
Okay.
But the idea is, if you just go to keep on running, you're eventually going to run out of stamina, and
for sure,
you're going to stop running. And I think you get X number of chances to slow down before you're eliminated.
Right.
You got to keep up a certain speed before.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. So we bring in some of the same techniques.
Yeah. So marbles, you can knock people down, and
so so it's not even that you're still not killing them yourself.
No,
we're getting around that. It's a third party doing the executions.
Exactly.
so we're okay. We're safe.
We're not the ones doing it.
We can't help it that if we make you stop running, they're going to kill you brutally. Yeah.
Maybe you can be running, and if you remember those FIFA games, how occasionally you could like try and do one of those foot tackles to try and get the ball.
Yeah.
You do one of those foot tackles that happens to trip them up.
Yeah. I'm picturing someone like you're not very fit. Your stamina's not great, but you're actually really good, like at a sprint, which means you can really easily get ahead of everybody, and then slow down to a jog and deploy whatever traps and different techniques that you have for taking them out of the game. It's a dangerous game.
Okay, I think we should click again.
We should click again. Jeez.
3, 2, 1, click. Squint.
Degenerate or degenerate.
Okay, so it's the sequel to the Bone Squintern game.
Well, no, I'm thinking that it's some sort of game revolving around failing eyesight. Degenerating eyesight, meaning that you have to squint. How can we bring squint mechanics, like literal squinting your eyes, into a game, into gameplay?
Okay, so it's a VR
yeah
game that actually has like the eye tracking that they've just been talking about recently.
Okay, yeah.
So they can tell whether you're squinting your eyes.
Yep. And you get slightly more focus. Things come slightly more into focus if you squint.
And slightly less bright. And that's kind of the reason why you got to squint. Because
okay.
If you open your eyes right up, it just blinds you. There's literal lights within there that are just...
There's actual, they just install these super bright LEDs into the headset.
Super bright LEDs right into the headset, like they're as bright as halogen lights.
Right. So there's a blind. You have to sign a waiver before you play this game because it can literally blind you, do permanent eye damage. Well, okay, but there has to be any certain points when you need to squint. Maybe it's that you're like a vampire in the game. Wait, will that work? I don't know. Maybe you're a vampire. Maybe you're an eye vampire, where if your eyes see too much sunlight, they turn into dust. I was just trying to think of something where you'd have to go out into the light and have this squint mechanic and play out. So that you're not blinded, but then I don't know. How does it become gameplay?
Well, first of all, I was thinking you got easy, medium, and hard.
All right.
Easy, there are no lights. It's just the screen brightness.
Okay.
Medium, it's the LEDs that are just really, really bright.
Okay.
And then hard mode is literally a laser pointer.
Literally just starts searing into your retinas.
And extreme mode, you know those laser pointers that they've considered. Like that can like pop balloons.
Oh yeah, it just ups the strength of it.
It's got one of those.
It just bores through the back of your skull. Well, I like that this is a VR game that has burn-in, like the old CRT screens and stuff, or plasma TVs. Like, don't leave this game on too long, or you will see just the background of the game in your vision for all eternity, for the rest of your life.
I haven't thought about burn-in for so long. And the fact that it's permanently on your retina.
Yeah, that's it. You could go get laser eye surgery. They can maybe take it off. Maybe it's a laser eye surgery game of some sort. I don't know. I'm still trying to think, like, what are you actually doing in this game that you need to squint so much?
I don't know. I haven't got to that part.
Yeah, you just enjoy coming up with the dangerous peripherals.
Exactly.
Maybe it's a
game.
game.
I came up with that part. You've got to
maybe
come
it's
up
a
with the
game
story.
where. Maybe it's a game where you're a character who wears prescription sunglasses, and they're old, so they're really quite loose. So if you move your head too quickly, they fly off. Meaning that the sun's really bright, and also you can't see very well. So
it can track your eyes, and it'll reduce the brightness if you squint.
It'll reduce the brightness if you squint, but it'll also put things slightly more into focus. So, like, the squinting mechanic comes in play both indoors and outdoors. Yeah, and basically the whole game is you crawling around on the floor trying to find your glasses in different environments. Like inside a dark bedroom. You don't have to worry too. That's the easy level.
Inside an optometrist's
in an optometrist's office, yeah. As a bonus, you actually are the optometrist, so you get to see someone else's eyeballs.
Then you've got the really, really hard level where there was an earthquake in like an OPSM. So you got to find your glasses.
Okay, I like this idea of you put on the wrong pair of glasses and it just fucks up your vision in a variety of different ways depending on the prescription. And the prescription that you need is procedurally generated for each eye. And then
I just love the idea that like you see your character literally walk in there. They're going, "Oh, I want a new pair of glasses." So you try the new frames on. Yours is just sitting down there, and you feel the earthquake, and like all these glasses just shake and fall onto the ground, and it's like, oh shit!
And then the extreme level is that same exact scenario, but it's just a really sunny day, and the windows have just been cleaned.
Okay, let's click again. 3, 2, 1, click. Baggy.
Buying. So, drugs.
It's not baggy as in IE, it's baggy as in Y. So
well, that's less fun.
Baggy jeans.
Things that are baggy. Bags. Bags are pretty baggy.
I don't like that one. Let's click.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, click.
Visible.
Flu.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a simulator of getting to work in flu season.
Yep.
You've got your wedding coming up in X number of days.
All right.
And you've got to come up with, like, interesting ways. Like, you're trying to get to work each day, and, like, the first day, you catch the train. Well, you've got heaps of people everywhere, so you've got sanitizer that you can use.
So is this about, like, avoiding people with visible flu symptoms? Is that where visible comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you got the visible flu symptoms, people, and literally all the levels of the game, kind of Five Nights at Freddy's sort of level of stuff, where something happens on each of the 5 or 7 days, or however many it is.
Right, okay. So it's like counting down. Yeah, okay. Counting down each day with a variety of scenarios each time.
So the first day, you can go on the train. Yep. And then the next day, there's a train strike, so you're on a bus.
Okay. Possibly closer proximity to people.
Closer proximity to people. Then, like...
So is there, like, bullet time when someone coughs and it just, like, it highlights the germs coming out of their head and you have to, like, quickly hit the trigger buttons to cover your mouth, cover your nose.
Yep.
Turn away.
To take one of those... To put one of those...
like the masks.
Face masks things on. But the reason why you can't have one of those face masks on the entire time is you happen to wear glasses, and if you wear that, if you've ever breathed into those things,
it fogs
the air
your
comes
glasses
straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes straight out and fogs your glasses up. So
it's just a defense mechanism. You have to get it on really quickly if you think you're going to come too close to someone with flu symptoms. But your visibility just slowly starts to degrade again. Visibility games.
Yeah.
Your vision, I mean, until you take it off. Okay. Can you squint to get through? Okay, yeah.
It's not VR though.
No, it's not VR. Okay, yeah, all right.
Any other ideas?
Well, then what's okay, then it's also like things happening in the office. Like it's someone's birthday and someone who has the flu is handing out cake, so you have to like... No,
they're the birthday person. They blew out the candles.
Oh, shit, yeah, perfect. They blew out the candles and then fucking sneezed on the cake.
But it's been said to be impolite if you...
Yeah, well, that's it. You don't want to alienate...
If you don't have some cake.
You don't want to alienate your co-workers.
So you've got to choose. Like,
choosing
you saw that one... You saw that one bit of cake that
did not
got no sneeze particles on it, and so therefore it's like those like 3-card Monty sort of things. Where you got to find
well, no. What it is they cut the cake up. You've spotted the piece. You've spotted the least contaminated piece. It's like that piece will be safe. But it's that thing where they're handing out the cake and you have to pass it on until everyone in front of you has or down the line has got one. So you have to position yourself in the right position. You have to quickly do the calculation. It's like, oh shit, how do they cut this up? All right, 8 pieces, eight pieces per line. It's about this big. I need piece, 15. All right, I need to make sure there are 14 people ahead of me that I'm going to hand cake to, so that I get piece number 15.
But of course, there's going to be that bastard who gets in right at the very end, and then everyone all of a sudden moves it down one more. So it's like, crap, you got to readjust.
You have to readjust, push people out of the way without offending them, and then of course Milton doesn't get any.
Yeah, and he's still crying about his table. Okay, I like cool. That scenario.
All right. Anything else? What other ways? You go. There's like a family dinner, and your aunt.
No, your sister's kids.
Oh god! Jesus! Yeah. Okay, kids. That's a good one.
Like it's literally day 4 or 5. You've got dinner at mum and dad's, and your sister's kids all sick because they're
fucking kids. And they're always sick. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you just have to spend the whole evening avoiding them, dodging them. Yeah.
I think maybe what you can do And this is, you know, the secret wink wink cheat code. You can just call in sick.
Okay. You've got one sick day left.
Yeah, but I'm talking even for your mum. You know, you can just say, I can't come tonight because I'm not feeling too great. And I want to be right for the wedding. Yeah. And it's like, what happens though is your mum gets really, really disappointed and tries guilt tripping you into coming.
Right. And maybe it's like as you're going through the game and each day, it tells you at the end how many people you've offended to the point that they're not going to come to your wedding anymore. And and it's a guest counter. Well, the score at the end is like how many gifts you got at the wedding. And then the final scene is you opening a gift, and it's like that episode of The Simpsons where like the person who packed it in the other country coughed into it right before it was packed, and you just come down with a lethal virus and die.
Version of SARS. Yeah. Or it's the start of that movie Contagion.
It just turns into a whole other game.
I'm like, hang on, we need to get our tie-in here. Okay, I think that'll about do us for today.
Yeah, that's about it. I think that's all we have time for. So this was our tie-in episode, apparently. I think all of our games had some sort of IP that we can't afford. So sorry, guys, these games aren't going to get made, unlike every other game we've ever talked about, which will definitely be made someday.
Just not by us, because we can't afford it.
I don't have the time to make games. Fuck. So
yeah, we've got kids. Can someone else buy? Can someone else?
Yeah, make this. Come on. We say this all the time.
We play it.
Make one of our games. Come on, we want to play it. So yeah, well, I think we'll end it there. Thank you for joining us on Bitstorm today. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're Bitstormcast on all those. Come talk to us. We're pretty friendly. And if there are any, if you've been playing along today and the prompts that we had gave you any ideas for games that we didn't come across, that we didn't think of, we didn't talk about, let us know. We'd love to hear your take on some of the prompts from today. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you'd leave us a rating or a review there. We'd love to hear feedback from people. We did get one extra review this week. That was fantastic. Thank you
very much. It was awesome and made us feel really
us feel really good. It was that Pooh Bar guy. Thank you for your review this week. That was really nice to see your review and that you're enjoying the show. So thanks very much for that. You can also find all of our episodes on our website, bitstormcast.com.
Okay, we'd like to thank Kuridas for our theme song, Mount Defiance, from the album Containment Failure. And we'd also like to thank all the awesome people out there from the AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. Guys like Reset Podcasts, and The Hungry Gamers, and The Inconsolables, and You Game Bro, and Dialogue Options, and all the rest of the awesome ones that we didn't get around to saying. But thank you guys.
Yeah, it's a great community. We're really making some good friends there, and you've been playing some games with some of them, and yeah, it's really cool. Hoping to see it grow and excited to be part of that as it grows in the future.
Yes, looking forward to the 16th of next month.
What's that?
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Excellent.
Hence why I bought it this week.
So, Trevor, a game where you have to send people up to an asteroid and figure out how to blow it up with a nuke. What do you think?
I'm getting out of here, but yeah, I'll play that.